Hello, and welcome to This Is For Me. I'm your host, Trisha, as usual. And this is for my Netflix watching. Basically, I'm just giving you my own reviews. Now that it's winter, pretty much right after dinner, I just want to lay in my bed and watch my projector and like be warm and cozy and lazy. Also, side note about it being winter, and now this podcast is available on YouTube, so I don't know why you wouldn't just put it on your TV. Like, I know I'm not doing anything particularly entertaining, but like for me, I like to just watch podcasts like while I'm cleaning, while I'm doing yoga, whatever. It's like hanging out with a friend that you don't really have to address. But back to it being winter, guys. The lighting, there's nothing I can do. I have so many lights in my living room right now. And I just feel like my face is just like in the dim, not in the dark, but in the dim. So, anyway, I apologize. Okay. So, back to my thoughts. Some of these are recommendations, and some of them are just thoughts. And maybe you have extra time off, unlike me working in hospitality. Maybe you have extra time off and you need things to watch. So I wanted to mostly keep it light this week. Sometimes it can get a little, heavy, whatever. Okay, so no, now immediately I'm regretting. I don't plan these. I'm immediately regretting me saying keeping it light because I'm going to tell you about the Ghislaine or Ghislaine, however you want to say it, Maxwell documentary. Okay, so we all know the story by now about her and Jeffrey Epstein, but like, can I just say, so it starts off basically everyone's like, oh my God, she was so charismatic. She was like the it girl everywhere you went. Like, it's just like the party didn't start till she walked in, like Kesha said, that was Ghislaine's vibe. I'm going to call it Ghislaine. One of my favorite podcasters, they call her Ghislaine, which I don't know if they're purposefully mispronouncing the name to make it funnier, but I'm just gonna call her Ghislaine, all right? And it's not because I have like respect for her, it's just too distracting for me to keep using the word jizz. Okay. Anyway, so she is this it girl, everyone loves her, and then it was a couple of weeks ago when I watched it. Like she hooks up with Jeffrey, whatever, and she's like so just like she's so simping for Jeffrey. She just wants his attention. She knows that she needs to serve a purpose in his life, and it's just so weird like her like making this position for herself because it almost seems like he didn't really ask her to do these things. Now, I'm not saying he's not guilty of a million things. He really is. I'm just saying, like, without her, this was not everything that they did and all the people that they hurt. Like, it would not have been at the level if it wasn't for her because as a woman, you innately just have a different level of trust with other women. And you're like, okay, well, if they feel safe, it's kind of like how if like a guy's stock goes up, like Pete Davidson, perfect example, Pete Davidson, where all it really took for him to get all these amazing women is that like he had the approval of one. And then once one great woman dated him, then other women are like, oh, I guess like he's deemed worthy, right, by this woman who I hold in high esteem. So I'm going to, see what it's about. So anyway, this was really the turning point for Ghislaine. A woman recalls a story. Pause for coffee consumption, guys. It's like almost 1, and I'm just now having coffee. There was errands to run today, so I apologize. All right, delicious. This woman recalls a party where Ghislaine had this idea of, oh, you know what would be fun? If you guys haven't seen this, you're not ready for what she thinks would be fun. How about we put blindfolds around all the men and then have them feel all the women's breasts that are here, have all the women take off their shirts, or who knows, maybe they're wearing dresses and they have to just completely disrobe, and have the men guess whose breasts they're feeling. Guys, this is so shocking. Like, you know, what the hell's the Tom Cruise movie? Because now I'm going to forget because I'm recording a podcast, but you all know the one I'm talking about with him and Nicole Kidman. You know the one. It'll come to me later. It doesn't matter. We all know what I'm talking about. So I just, like, who doesn't leave immediately? Right? And I'm not just talking about women. Obviously, what woman doesn't leave immediately? I don't know. What men? You know, like, you're fucked up. If you stayed, you're fucked up. That is so, so disturbing, so strange, so messed up. Like, the fact that immediately someone didn't say, like, should we have her evaluated? You know, mentally, this just doesn't seem right. Also, let's think of more of the logistics of where are you getting blindfolds for a whole party of people? Like, what are you using? That was another thing that wasn't explained either. Like, did she have them on hand? Does she just like have a collection from the local S&M shop? Like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, that was absolutely insane. So would I recommend this documentary? I don't know. I mean, I put it on in the background of me just like eating and scrolling through emails and like doing what I do when I get home from work. I just like eat dinner and I put on something that I don't really care about. And then I just like look at emails and sales and deals. So if you wanted to know about my exciting life after work, that's pretty much it. And then I'm just like eating for an hour and a half, probably, or what feels like that. Okay. So that was that. I didn't fully pay attention because I've already watched the Jeffrey Epstein one. So I knew, you know, what I needed to know. I just wanted to know a little bit more about her. But yeah, she is not being persecuted to the level that she needs to be persecuted. So I don't know. I guess I'm going to give that like a 5 out of 10. You know what you're getting, but are you like happy you watched it? I don't know, not really. Like, you know a little bit more, but not really. Okay, guys, still side note is that since I'm recording this now, I can see my audio level since I'm using the microphone, and I still feel like I need to practically eat this microphone for my audio to be picked up. So I apologize if it ever seems like I'm shouting. I literally felt like I was shouting the end of last week and losing my voice at work because there is so much freaking commotion going on at a bakery during the holidays. There's like holiday music playing, and then every mixer's going, every oven's going because you're making the most, right? Like, it was so stupid because this is just like a fun, this is for me project, right? This podcast. But I was like, I'm going to lose my voice and not even be able to record a freaking podcast. I have to yell at work all day, which I don't know. Maybe that'd be a good thing. I mean, I can't work without a voice, but I don't want that. Okay, coffee consumption time. Again, I apologize. Some people joke about eating on podcasts and they go, oh, the audience is going to hate this. Yeah, they will. Yes, they will. I cannot stand mouth noises. That's just something you need to know about me. Unless I love you and we're eating a meal at the same time. But if you're just eating in front of me, no, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. Next, Netflix watch. I'm just trying to think about which one I want to do. Andy Warhol. Oh my God. Okay. The Andy Warhol docuseries. I was enthralled. I could watch some of it again. So, one, I love art and I love I'm I want to say I love pop culture, but not in the way of like I'm not up on all the stories. Okay, obviously I'm big into like the whole Britney Spears thing, but just Andy Warhol and his commentary on pop culture as a whole, and then just like him as a person. I had watched the movie The Factory with what's her name, Sienna Miller playing Edie Sedgwick, his muse. I loved that, and so they have. This is kind of weird. I don't know if I was interpreting this right because sometimes I'm not the brightest bulb. In the credits, it says like voice. So Andy Warhol is reading his diaries. It's called the Andy Warhol Diaries, and it's him reading his diaries. And I'm pretty sure it says it's like an AI voice, but acted by so and so. And so I'm very confused if they found an actor and he just like said some stuff and then they can generate everything else through AI or what. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But anyway, whoever did the voice, it sounds like exactly how I think Andy Warhol sounds. So great choice, I'm going to say. Also, the fact that he had this diary that was so detailed and vivid. And then because he was famous, there is so much footage that could be used of him at like parties with Lily Tomlin and Jack Nicholson. Like, this is what I mean by I love pop culture, like that kind of pop culture, like old Hollywood. It was really cool to see like just photos from parties back in the day. Also to think about how cool it was that, and they mentioned like, oh, when people would get together, they really could take off their public personas. And just knowing that, people didn't have cell phones back then, I could only imagine. Like, they showed clips of people in tubs together, like during a party, and other people like walking in and chit chatting. Like, this is they said it was intimate parties, but that is a whole level of intimacy. Like, never in all my years, even with my best friends, like late teens, early 20s, did I ever just like take a bath nude with someone and just like have that be an open. No, just it was different, but very interesting. Also, a lot about the AIDS epidemic and the misunderstandings about that. He has this very vivid part of his diary where he talks about giving someone a kiss, and he had a pimple on his chin and they had stubble, and he thought about the stubble going into the pimple like a needle and giving him AIDS. Like, wow, that's descriptive and disturbing. Also, his relationship with Jean Michel Basquiat, and they kept referring to him as Jean Michel, Jean Michel, and there's so much footage of them. Guys, I don't know where I like fell off the planet that I didn't know this, but it was a very interesting relationship between this like new, hip, cool kind of ingenue, and he's like hot on the scene, and then this very established guy taking him under his wing. And it was a very symbiotic relationship because Andy kind of like legitimized him in the art world as not just a flash in the pan and not just like something that's like shiny and new for tabloids. And then Basquiat kept Andy relevant and new and fresh, and like he's not just old news. But they were very, very close friends, and that was really, it was interesting. I didn't even know they did work together. I felt like such a loser, I guess, because I do care about this stuff. And then when you find out things that you just feel like you should have known. Okay, so I felt like an out of the loop loser, but it's fine. And I'm sure I'm telling you this review. Some people are like, I don't care about R. Why would I ever watch this? Okay, that's for you, and this was for me. I do recommend it. I actually would like rewatch some of it because I was really invested. Do you ever watch something and you're fully in it, and then like later in other episodes, you just you get this modern day ADD where you just start fucking looking at your phone and you're missing out on key important things. And that was happening. But I did get the overall picture and I really liked it. Now, I think this is the last thing I'm going to review. Wednesday. Oh my God. I love it. I love the aesthetic. I love the casting. I it's so cute. And I'm normally not into cutesy things. When I always say like when people ask if I've seen random Disney movies, Pixar movies, whatever, I'm like, I'm a grown woman who doesn't have kids. Like I'm a 38-year-old woman who doesn't have kids. So why would I watch that? Wednesday is so good, so adorable. And then I didn't realize it was directed by Tim Burton, but like no wonder that the aesthetic is perfection. Also, I don't know what Catherine Zeta Jones is doing, but she looks incredible. So I didn't realize it was her at first. And obviously, like, there's probably, interventions, medical interventions. I don't care. They're working. It's well done. She's doing great. So if you like the Adams family, I just got to the episode where Fred Armisen comes in as Uncle Fester. Great. It's so good. So that's all I'm really going to say. I mean, I can't really do much commentary on it except for to say, like, flawless. Oh, and I really like that the actress that plays Wednesday, and that Christina Ricci's in it. That's amazing, too. Christina Ricci, she's a present role. I was wondering how she was going to get in there. Love that she's in it. The actress that plays Wednesday, there is an iconic dance scene, and she actually studied videos of like goth kids in the 80s dancing at clubs and studied Fosse and like Susie and the Banshees and then like made up her own dance. And I just think it's so cool. She's iconic. She's so cool. Love her. Will never be this cool. Also, will never be that. She is gorgeous. I mean, I guess that goes without saying, but I'm just going to say it. She's so stunning. Just a stunning 5'1", just ethereal creature. All right. I think that's it. There's some other stuff I could get into, but it's off topic, and let's just keep this light and fun. So, if you have some time off, Netflix is really serving. They're serving a variety. If you want to go and watch the season 3 Love is Blind and just get mad at people for being assholes, also worth a watch just for the conversations you can have with friends. So I don't need to give you the play-by-play review of that. Just saying I think it's a great couples watch and a great friends together watch because it's just endless conversation starters. All right. This has been This Is For Me. And follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. I'm like losing it. I'm like, oh yeah, follow me on YouTube. Everything. Just look up Trisha Kemi. And if I do not I think I'm going to make another one of these next week. But if I don't, have a good holiday. I think I am going to do one more next week. And then I might skip a week because I only get one day off for the holidays. But I will hopefully have more things to talk about. I'm going to visit my mom today, too. So everyone, visit your parents for the holidays. Have a good one.